Hey, good afternoon, everybody. Just wanted to give you an update on what we've done so far. We've been running water out to the garden areas, and we have plans to run water out to each individual tree. We just haven't got that far yet. We wanted to show you this, and just before anybody says anything about it not being too deep, we drain our water system out here that goes to the gardens and the flower beds every year before the first frost. We keep a really good eye on the temperatures, and if it's going to start freezing, then we drain it and we close up shop for the year. Or if it's just a one cold snap, we'll drain it and then recharge it, use it for however much longer we need, and then drain it for the year. We wait until after the last frost or the last freezing night of spring, and then we turn the system on and we start getting our gardens ready for plants and so on and so forth. I'm showing you the view of the mountains right now since I'm just talking. This year we're actually going to start some of our stuff from seed. I generally don't like to do that. My favorite greenhouse, Mile High greenhouse right outside of Delta, I'm not sure if the stay-at-home stuff is going to be over by April 30th. I don't know if it's still going to be, if it's considered essential. I don't know if I can go and get sprouts from there, which I generally like to do because they carry heritage sprouts, and I don't have to deal with all of the worrying about whether I've started my seeds too soon, watering them, making sure they get enough sunlight but not too much sunlight, and all that other great stuff. But of course, with everything going on, maybe stockpiling some seeds and all that other kind of stuff is not a bad idea. So just to show you, we had a water line that was already run here. We had to replace part of this pipe where we drain the system because it broke. I don't know where Alan put that piece. Probably already threw it away. But this here where the tree is, where it's dug up, that's actually going to be a flower bed. And I figured I'd go ahead and start working on that since he was running the water. While we had everything already open, we could go ahead and run this spigot here. So as you can see, it's teed off there, which comes off of there, which goes all the way back there. The pipe that you can see, that's electrical pipe. So that's different, but it goes all the way back into where you see the door is open over there. And this whole area will be another video once we start working on it. This older dirty pipe, that goes up over to a spigot that's into the orchard area, which we'll tie off of when we go to run the water to the trees. And it also allows us to give water to the chickens when we have them. We've got some updates to do to the chicken coop to make it to where predators cannot get in so that we can have chickens again. Because we've had 4 flocks wiped out by predators, and I'm tired of buying chickens, getting attached, and them being eaten by somebody other than me. So this pipe comes up into the garden, and this is going to be our main feed that we come off of for the garden beds. So as you can see, we've got some strawberries already coming up, and our raspberries, they look terrible right now, but they are greening. They'll start putting off leaves within the next few weeks, and we'll start seeing better looking raspberries. The ones that are up that are more than a year or 2 years old, those will be the ones that will produce raspberries for us, and then we can take them, we can either dehydrate them, or we can freeze them or eat them straight from the bush, which what I like to do. So we've got that, and there's also a blueberry plant in there. I hope it survived. We'll see. It looks like it did. As you can see, we've already got our sprinkler system set in there, and we've got this spigot there. Every one of these will have a timer on it so that we cannot, so that we don't have to come out and manually water. Each of them will be staggered for the amount of water that each specific bed will require. Berries require more water than, say, your peppers. Peppers like it a little drier. Watermelons and cantaloupes and things like that want more water than, say, your peppers and all of that other kind of stuff. So over here, we've got another spigot run. Of course, the timer will go there. I've got onions planted here. There's some sage that's coming back. You can see the new little leaves on those, so I'm leaving those. On either side, since it's a square foot bed, we should be able to plant some other type of vegetable or herb or something like that, maybe cilantro on either side of those, because we tend to eat a lot of that in guacamole and our Mexican food and things like that. So this is onions over here. These won't be messed with. That where it's still all messy is where we can still plant. Over here is garlic that came up from last year. As you can see, usually I think garlic you harvest on the second year. I may come out and plant some more. I have to try to keep seeing these and pulling the weeds. And then we don't do this all the time, but we planted potatoes over here. We've got a combination of red and some German gold that are supposed to be good. So as you can see, the line comes all the way over here, splits off another spigot. This spigot will feed this side of this bed and bed. This one shouldn't require much more water than the other. So if I can step over here, this square foot bed, when we get it done and ready, this will be for our grapes. And I'll put another one line of sprinklers down through here at the base of each of the grapes, because we're only going to get 4 vines, and that will be the water for the grape. And then these are our main square foot beds that we've already got pretty much ready. We've got to smooth this one out, and I've already got sprinkler systems that I made a year or two ago for these that I'm going to have to adjust. And that won't be hard. It won't be difficult to go off of these 2 spigots for these beds. And then we have top, because we're going to put some other type of bed or a platform for, we've got a 6x8 greenhouse that we may put over here. And when we decide what we want to do with that, then we'll take and we'll run off of this right here over to wherever it is we want the spigot, and then we'll run another line down because water drains down, so that we can drain from this side as well. As you can see, Alan is still working on the compost. So this, once we get everything sifted and sorted out of this, it'll come into here. This will be closed for the year once we get all that done. Then what we'll do is we'll start another bed with our vegetable and non-meat food waste that will be what we use for the entire year to build it up. And we'll add things like straw into it. Our neighbor has horses, so we'll add horse poop into it. When we had chickens, we would add the chicken poop in there and just kind of build it up, right? And then in the next year, when that's ready, what we'll do is we'll sift through that, put whatever didn't compost over into here, and then we'll cover this up for a year. And the process keeps rolling. And the great thing about that is you're reusing things that you're not eating. Leftovers, things that go bad in your fridge, because we know we're all guilty of getting something, saying we're going to eat it, and then next thing we know, it's gone bad. So that's what we do with those things that have gone bad on us before we could eat it all. And leftovers, you can see corn cobs in there and all that other kind of stuff. But that is our garden. That is where we're at right now. And just a close-up of how he does that. There's absolutely no smell. Eventually these 4 beds will actually be, we're going to level out this area here, and starting where that far box is, we're going to start building them out of cinder block. So they'll be all mooshed together and side by side, so we have a little bit more room over here. This bed, you can see I've already got a sprinkler line with no sprinklers out this way, because we're going to add over here. Yeah, I know. We're going to add over here for blackberries. So we'll have raspberries and we'll have blackberries. So, and then what he's doing now, the compost that he sifted, he's mixing with perlite and peat moss. And you want to do 1/3 of each: compost, perlite, peat moss. And I'll repeat that every time we do a garden video so that you guys don't forget and that it's readily available. But you mix it all up, and there you have your garden soil. You can use this for potting soil. You can use this for your gardens. You can use it for anything that you would plant your normal plants in. So if you decide to do this process, just be aware it's not just for vegetables.
A lot cheaper.
And it's a lot cheaper. So hope you guys, I hope you guys enjoyed. Steph, I can't wait until you get to do your garden and you can do pictures and all that other kind of stuff. I can't wait until all of this is over. I need a haircut and I need my eyebrows waxed.
What?
So I will talk to you guys later. Bye.